Welcome everybody to our latest Quantacast. My name's Tim MacKinley, I'm the COO here. On my left I've got Chris Carrigan, our Head of Property Investments.
Hi Tim.
Welcome Chris. And on my right, as always, I've got Stacey Jones with us, our CEO. How are you, Stacey?
Good, Tim.
We are here to talk about 9 Tennyson Street in Mackay. It's a 2-level office building, and Chris, when we inspected, I've got to tell you, I really love this building. It's very modern, it's fully tenanted, it's in a great location in the Mackay CBD. But over to you. Tell us why we're going to put this out to our investors.
Yeah, definitely, Tim. One of the best buildings in Mackay. It's got 3 tenants. It's got state government. It's fully leased, as you mentioned. State government, a multinational, and a large corporate tenant, Queensland-based corporate tenant that with multiple locations. We'll get into those tenants shortly. High yielding, so we're offering investors a high distribution with underpinned by some really strong tenants.
Thanks, Chris. So the 3 of us inspected this property in the last few weeks. We have a knowledge of who the builder is, and we know that the builder originally built this for themselves. So they built this in around 2008 and have held the building for that long. But we looked at the building, immediately saw the quality of build, and then when you go inside, particularly the state government tenant in particular on level 1 the first floor, very, very high spec specialist use. We were a little bit overwhelmed by how well that fit out had been done, and again by the builder who'd built the building. So talk to us a little bit, Stacey, about the use for the state government tenant.
So that's the Mackay Child Safety Centre. Unfortunately, a very necessary service, and even more unfortunate that the demand for those type of services grows. And that's what's brought the tenant to this building in the first place. They expanded from where they were. Significant amount of work was done to accommodate the specialised need and the people who frequent the building from a safety perspective, and all that work's been done, as you mentioned, by the original builder to an incredibly high standard, and the tenant is extremely happy there. And as you mentioned, it was a very impressive fit out. They have a lot of staff in that building. They provide a very, very important service, and they look quite at home in there.
Yeah, look, I think there's about 100 staff and it's about a 900 square metre plate, is that right? Yeah, so which, is hard to find sometimes in Mackay, and particularly that spec. Chris, talk to us a little bit about the other 2 tenants that make up the fully letted building.
Yeah, so the other 2 tenants, multinational tenant Caterpillar. So obviously make engines for marine, agriculture, trucks, and that's a major regional location for Caterpillar. Pentacon, engineering service based out of Brisbane. They provide engineering services to the mining industry up there. Very good company. And have been around for a significant period of time.
So we've got a 2-level office building fully let. We're looking at about a $6.625 million purchase price, Chris. Yep. We're going to return 8.25% year 1, and there's a 4.7 year WALE on the property, which is terrific for any office in any area. Between 2.5% and 4% increases built in to annual reviews across the various tenants there, and we've calculated to be 30% below replacement cost. Yeah. I'll let you talk a little bit about why that particular building is really attractive to the tenants we've got in there at the moment.
Yeah, so you spoke about a 4.7 year WALE. For the investors at home, that means the average lease duration for over the property is 5 years. So very good tenants there for 5 years. The largest tenant there is the state government, and what we really like about that is they've got the longest lease. They they're very sticky. They're going to be a very sticky tenant because this building, you can refer to the photos in the IM when you read that, but not every building can cater to what this tenant needs, and so this building is very uniquely positioned to be able to accommodate that tenant. Most buildings in Mackay are not going to be able to accommodate that tenant. And thirdly, highly specialised fit out. So not only just for the functions they do there in terms of security and separation, and but also to cater for their workforce, which is has unique requirements in itself. So So for that reason, we think it's a really sticky tenant. There's also, if this tenant needs to grow, we're going to have flexibility in the future. So whilst there are other tenants currently occupying that space, we'll prioritise the state government. If they need more space, we'll make sure they're catered for so that they can grow as that service grows, and that will make their income more robust than the income profile more robust than it already is. Upon exit, it'll be a state government lease building, which will attract firmer sale metrics. So we think that's a good asset strategy in regards to that tenant.
Thanks, Chris. Just on the property as well, it's an off-market deal for us, so there's a little bit of to and fro when we go through a negotiation to keep it off market. I think we've done a good job with that, which will benefit our investors. It does really present very modern and it presents really well, but particularly in the CBD of Mackay. It's got great car parking, got great street appeal. There's been some work done to that car park as well, Chris?
Yeah, so I mentioned earlier about the specialised usage and accommodating the requirements of the tenant. This car park is configured in a way that meets the requirements of the state government in terms of security and separation again. So it's just another reason why this building's particularly suitable to the state government.
You can see it's been loved, that property, and you can see when we talked to the owner, because we actually met the owner on site along with the agent. They knew everything about the asset. They knew all about the fit out that's been done, which is reasonably new. And Chris, just on the fit out on level 1, it's only probably about 18 months old, and that's
Correct.
An 8-year term.
That's an 8-year.
Sure.
Lease,
So
yes.
you can see that they're really in touch with the property, which we always like. Because you get to know the ins and outs, but you can see that they're very across what's happening there, and it's been very well maintained, which is great. So, Stacey, talk to me about where you think the investor demand will be for a property like this.
Yeah, we like to stay in touch with the mandate of our investors, and that changes from time to time. And we know from recent survey results that our investors are looking for secure income, which we've definitely found here with the array of tenants in this building, and high yielding 8.25%. That's a fantastic return in the current climate. And they're very familiar and very comfortable with office assets.
Yeah, agreed, Stacey. Particularly with a fully leased building with a state government tenant, 8.25 is fantastic for our investors, and we hope they take that up quickly. Mind you, at a purchase price of $6.6 million.
It is a relatively low raise, small raise. So based on the feedback we've got of the returns that investors are chasing, we do expect that one to go pretty quickly.
Yeah. If it lasts more than a day or two, I'll be very surprised. Look, again, thanks for coming in today, Stacey, and sharing your view.
Thanks, Tim.
Chris, thanks for being here
Pleasure.
again. And we look forward to bringing you another Quantacast soon.